Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am doing a Hobonichi update. So if you like watching these videos, keep on watching. Hey guys, so if you're new here, welcome. If you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. So the last time I did a Hobonichi update, it was in, I think, July. So I look back, it was July, so we're doing August and September together, because guess what, we're in October. I'm in my room, hence the black table, because the house is full of people. So I, as usual, tell you guys I didn't use anything in my Hobonichi except for my dailies. I didn't use any of this stuff on this end. I did use my monthlies. Can't say I didn't, because I did. I wrote down whatever I needed to write that was important. Clearly not for August, but when I started, I did. And I believe that the reason for this is because it's in the front, it's not in the back. So I believe that's the reason why. But the rest of the stuff, I did not use any of the weeklies at all, except for in the beginning. So I did not use any of the weeklies. All of these pages are blank. I think the only time I went in there was when I was doing my gardening stuff, and that's not even in there anymore. So I've only have done clearly my dailies. So here we are in August, and my table is wobbly, I'm not sure why. So we'll go day by day. This was Nico's birthday. As you can see, I have been using it. I did a couple of things, I tested a couple of things. I used my Tombow markers on some of these spots for the my Bible verse. I usually go in there and do more of for work. So you see, I have some busy days, some bad days. I was doing my scripting for a while, and then clearly it looks full, everything looks fine, and then hubby had a stroke, August 11th. So this is the day that at 12 o'clock, they called me, told me he was in a hospital, and after that, the rest of the planner just went from there. I didn't get to do any of the stuff that I was gonna do. I kept up with like my Bible verses. I have gone back and put pictures wherever I forgot to put pictures. I even don't have any pictures for Bela's birthday. I know. It's kind of sad because hubby had the stroke, so he was in the hospital, in the ICU. I wasn't really working. I was working from the hospital certain times when they needed me. I have like more of notes for, see, that was him at the hospital. It was more for notes of things that I had to call for, like disability, for car repairs, that kind of stuff. Contractors for Tennessee, like things that he was taking care of, now I had to jump in and take care of. So it's like random notes in here. The kids actually weeded and harvested like whatever red tomato there was, because that's what JJ mostly knows, is pick up the red tomatoes. So they did go in a couple of times a day and walked around to see if there was any red tomatoes, and then they put them on the table next to the window, which I already had there for my tomatoes. They knew the rule that once they got very nice and bright and there was enough to fill up a 1 gallon bag, for them to just chop them up into pieces and core them, take out the black spots, clearly wash the tomatoes, put them in the bag. So they were doing that for me for a while. Right now, today's October 15th, so I am way behind on things. And so here's just random notes, things that I was only doing the important stuff for work. I kept up with all my Bible stuff that I had to do. This was actually me. I would do this stuff before I would go to the hospital to see hubby. This is when we were supposed to go to Tennessee, clearly to visit, but clearly that did not happen. So here's more that I did. So my pages clearly are gonna look empty because of the fact that hubby was in the hospital. Alright guys, sorry about that, as usual, interruption. So from here, this is where he went to rehab. As you can see, empty. This is when we were supposed to go to Tennessee. I got to see Micah turn 1 month old. Empty. This is when I was supposed to do my monthly flip though, but it didn't happen. So basically pretty basic. Just important stuff is the only thing I put in here. So here's September. Same thing, same concept, clearly. Then here, actually, when Lexton would still in the rehab, I would come home, try to relax. I did do some watercolor. And some of these pages, I try to get back into it, right? So here I got a haircut. Here, this day, I think I remember having a rough day. So all the kids just came in the bedroom and decided to come lay with me. So they're all there. Friday, I took a vacation day just to try to catch up to everything that had to do with the garden. So it was getting out of control. Look at Nico. Jumping inside the container. He's starting to do other things. And then in between here, we also, besides Mr. Campbell having a stroke, we found out that Nico has autism. So now he's been fully diagnosed with the autism. So that's something else that we're like trying to deal with as a family. I did take some days off, like once a week. I think this Thursday I just took off. I was overwhelmed with things with home, with work. It was my brother's anniversary. So my boss was like, don't worry about it, just stay home. So there was like a lot of phone calls I had to make. So he was like, don't worry about it. Here was more stuff. This is a place we were supposed to go to Puerto Rico for her 80th birthday. We didn't get to go. So they sent me a picture of her. More harvesting. Micah. That's actually his 2-month picture, and I should have put it over here. I just plopped it there because I wasn't gonna have a chance to take him a picture on his 2-month mark. See, I watercolored. Try to relax a little bit. This is very overwhelming. Here this was when he was supposed to come home this week. Well, he came home this week. I think this day. So I just read Psalms 31, which is, you know, tells you that God is your rock kind of thing. If you're a Christian, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a Christian, you can go read it. The Bible is on, you know, online. Psalms 31. And then I did a little prayer so, you know, God can give me strength, patience, and everything, because clearly I'm the one that has to deal with Lexton at home with no nurses, no nothing, just me. And clearly the kids that live here, but kids are kids, right? So I did a little rock in the background, and that's what made me think. Well, when I was drawing it, watercoloring, at first I was trying to do a mountain. Then when it dried out, it looked like a rock, and then the rock verse popped up at me, and I said, ah. So I wrote down the Psalms 31. I only did 1 through 5. That's the strongest of the Psalm 31. And then I did the little prayer. Sunday, I wanted it to be bright, sunny, because it was also, it's just been raining. So I just did a circle, like a little sun. Then I put, of course, good day start with coffee right in the middle of that one. Then when he came home Saturday, Sunday was our first day with him together. So Saturday night was our first night together. And so I took Monday, Tuesday, and I took Wednesday off from work. Here's Mike on his 2 months. And just to get acquainted with working from home, because I work from home, and having him be at home at the same time. Let me tell you, it's no joke. Then I had to keep track of his blood pressure, because they put him on a new medication and they wanted to make sure it was working. So at first I had to write it down. So first couple of times you see it on there. Now I don't have to, because it seems to be working, so they don't want to know. I just have to bring the machine when we come to his appointment. So at least that's not bad. I don't have to keep writing it down. You see, as you can see, I wrote it down. Now I don't have to. Then this is October. And then in October, because then now that's a whole, this was my first week with him. And since I wasn't doing too much with clearly my Hobonichi, I decided to do something on Sunday, like a little watercolor, something to relax. And then I thought of putting how was my week on Sunday. So that's when I watercolored. Then I'll sit down, and obviously in the morning I always do my Bible verse. I put a couple of pictures of memory in there and a washi tape, and then that afternoon I went in, watercolored, and wrote down how my week went. Then obviously with a little prayer, because it was tough. I have some sticky notes about my 2024 calendar. What I was looking for, what I want for 2024. So that's what this is. And I found it, so we can talk about that next. And here, as you can see, it's just more random notes of things that I have to do. And then it's more of like doctor's note, things with disability, things that they need to know about Lexton. The important stuff for work, obviously, I still write down and I put it in there. Here, Bella got some new glasses. Lexton, oh, sorry. Lexton tried to pull a box with his cane instead of him walking with the cane. He pulled the box with the cane. I did my first rotel. This was the biggest harvest we had. So Thursday I took off, October 5th, because we need to clean out most of the garden. So that was all the harvest I got from everything we cleaned up. We even got 2 watermelons, which we haven't opened yet. That's my attempt to a pumpkin. Don't laugh at me. And then this is the Sunday. So every Sunday you'll see a watercolor in October with the written of how I feel. Clearly today's the 15th, is Sunday. I haven't done it yet, but I already got the watercolor going. So here's all his appointments, all of our phone calls. Sorry, I'm so tired. And then I gotta keep track of my time, because if I fall down before, like, if I fall below a certain amount of hours, they want me to put PTO time. And so I gotta keep track of my hours, and I've been doing that. But I've been doing that already, so that is great, because that's something I already know how to do. Same thing, calling, appointments, things that we had to do. Here was another day. I actually worked, but and then after I finished working around, I think 3 o'clock, I decided to take an hour to go harvest the garlic, because it was important. It's time to replant your garlic. So I took 1 hour, I think an hour and a half from work, and decided to do that. Then I came back at 6 and I worked till like almost 9 to catch up to the hours. Here is the same thing. Clearly homesteading stuff I still gotta do. Dehydrating, canning, preserving, that kind of stuff I still have to do. So there's stuff like way behind. And then clearly we don't grow all this stuff, right? Because I only have a certain amount of containers, and not everything grows very well. So like all the garlic that I grew, I probably got about, clearly we ended up with 100 and something plants that I tried to plant for garlic, and I probably got like 30 cloves. And so clearly that's not enough garlic for me. So I go to the farmer's market and I buy what I didn't grow enough of. So we ended up buying like a whole bag of garlic to replant and to preserve. Same thing with peppers. I had all these plant peppers, but they didn't grow fast enough. So I grew whatever I can. Then I went and purchased peppers and onions, right? Because I didn't grow any onions. So anything I brought was mainly, everything that I was able to do this year was tomatoes. Like there's so many tomatoes in my freezer. The other thing I brought was corn, so I had to freeze the corn, and as of today I still didn't freeze the corn. They're sitting in my counter. I still got to do more of canning potatoes that I haven't done. What else? I diced all the onions. Oh, I got dehydrating onions. So today's the 15th. Today is blue. And today I'll do a recap. My brother's birthday was yesterday. He turned 40. This is everything I wanted to do yesterday. And then, you know, God constantly throwing lemons at me. So I gotta make lemonade. So I gotta blend the onion in the dehydrator. Sorry about that. I heard a big thump and I thought it was Lexington. So I still got onions in the dehydrator that I gotta blend. And then I gotta call AAA to cancel. I gotta freeze the corn, which I still haven't done. And today is the 15th. I gotta finish my potato canning, but then now this had to hold because I had to order more canning lids, because I had some old canning lids and I should have known better, because it was cheap brand canning lids. And then they went, so I would can maybe 6 jars of stuff, and only 4 will seal and 2 won't. So I got my refrigerator full of stuff that I need to cook because it didn't seal. So I stopped canning. I gotta wait for the lids to come in, which they come in this week. I gotta do my budget video, which is next, and this video. I gotta clean my desk. I started that, but it's still not done. And then I had to bring down my green stalk and top it with soil, but that's another story. I can bring down the green stalk, like take it apart and put them on the ground, so if wind blows or snow gets piled up, it don't break, right? Because there is in a tower. I want to break down the tower. And we don't know what we're doing. So we're planning on leaving next year to Tennessee, but now with Lexington with the stroke, we're not sure what we're doing. And if we leave now because he's disabled, I need men to come in and do things for me. So if we move, I gotta hire a moving company to come and pack everything for me. And I doubt they want to take cans of dirt. Ah, Lord. So we don't know. So the plan changed. So we're not sure what we're gonna do. But since I don't want to top it with soil, if I can take the bag of soil with me. So I'm in a bind. I'm sorry, I'm like eating something because my sugar is low. And that's another thing. I'm a sick puppy. You people know this. So I'm a sick puppy taking care of another sick puppy. What a joke. If you guys could be flies on the wall, you would die laughing. I could make this into a series of everything that happens in my house. But I don't want to top it with the soil because if we're leaving, there's no point. But let me make you laugh. About 2 weeks ago, I decided to put onion seeds on my green stalk. Not thinking, I should say, because Lexington had already had his stroke. Not thinking that clearly a moving company might not want to move pounds of dirt. Hello. So I put about 270 onion seeds in them green stalks, okay? So the plan for the green stalk is going to be, I'm not going to top it with the soil. That's our final decision. I'm going to let the onions grow. Once I see them growing, I'm going to retransplant them into one container. Maybe about this much of, a couple of inches of dirt. Put the onions in there so it's not so heavy. And then that can go in the back of the car or the back of the truck that we're leaving in to go to Tennessee, just in case the moving company don't take my dirt. Then the next thing would be, if you have to sit here and think about this, right? If I gotta rent a truck, a U-Haul truck, to take all my dirt in my containers, it's gonna cost me over $3,000 to get a U-Haul truck here in Connecticut. Alright guys, sorry about that. Not sure where I left off, but if we get a U-Haul truck that costs over $3,000 just to tow my dirt in containers, I can buy that in dirt for less than $100. So when we get to Tennessee, so the plan is going to be is we're emptying out all that dirt, disposing of the containers that we can't take, and just rebuying it in Tennessee. We're not going to worry about it, except for whatever has permanent stuff like the garlic and the lemon tree, that kind of stuff. So if you watch those videos, you know what I'm talking about. I'm over here rambling about gardening stuff, and this is supposed to be about Hobonichi. So if you watch my gardening videos, that's what that's about. But this is what I've been doing with my Hobonichi. Let's talk next year. So next year, I did have a little note somewhere around here about what I want for plans of my 2024. And I brought a blank one. So I brought a week's blank common planner, and it just has the square 520 pages. So that's a week size though. It's way smaller than this. And I brought, actually let me go get it so you guys can see it. Alright guys, I'm in my bedroom. Not sure if I said that because Nico is here and he's in the living room with Papoose, with Lexton. And Lexton is watching soccer. So I don't want to disturb him being in the dining room with him, recording while he's listening to soccer in the background. And then you have Nico making his regular, you know, ta-ta-ta, and shh noises in the background. So here is the Sterling Ink common planner. Nope, Sterling Ink Weeks N1. No, wait, what is it? I think she calls it a notebook, just a regular notebook, but it's a week's size. So this is it, right? So if I put it to the top here, right at the edge of this one right here, before the fold, that's the week size. So this is supposed to be just like a Hobonichi Weeks, but bigger than a Mega, because it has 520 pages. I just did a flip through of it. I brought this for like 28 bucks because there was something wrong with it. Not sure what was wrong with it because I don't see anything wrong with this book. It's still usable. It has all the grid lines in it, and it's just blank grid lines on it. Okay. Then I purchased the calendar for 2024. So it's the Common Planner TN N1, which is a full year TN size. So it's supposed to look like this, but it's this size. So this is a regular TN notebook that I have in my desk because I use it for notes. And this would be the size of my planner. So it's like clearly up to here. Compare, and then this would be the weeks compared to that one. So here you go. Weeks, TN, Hobonichi cousin. So the one I purchased for my 2024 is actually this size. That has the actual calendar stuff in it. So it's supposed to be, it has supposed to have like the vision board, the goals breakdown. Supposed to have your quarterly, yearly breakdown. Supposed to have a 2-page monthly, and then it's supposed to be a two-page, one with a weekly. I wrote everything down, and a grid line next to it. So it's supposed to be a weekly here, a grid line here, and then the rest of the book is supposed to be grid line pages. So can't wait to get it. I think it gets here tomorrow, so watch out for that video because that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to get it. So it's supposed to be smaller than this, which for now I am grateful that it'll be smaller because as you guys can see, I'm not doing as much as I was doing before, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen because I never used any of these weeks, and I think it's the format of it, right? So the way it goes this way is what sort of throws me off. And then the monthlies I never use because I got into the habit of putting it on my phone, but it's because this book is so big to put in my purse or to take with me. Because the cousin is actually, I feel like this is actually bigger than my bullet journal. Like, I don't feel like I was ever carrying a bullet journal this big. Because I was taking it to work and stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see how it works out for me. But, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one, hopefully, if I have time. Pray for me. Keep us in prayer. I'm sure everything will be great. I will catch up to videos as much as I can, and keep an eye for the TN and one full year that's coming up for 2024. And go check out my budget video. That one is gonna be next. Bye guys.